Welcome to GBIRL, the podcast looking at the real business world of esports, gaming, and streaming with the people and personalities behind it all. Here is your host, Bill the Conqueror.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the podcast. So if you've been watching the channel, last week I did a product presentation, product pitch of StreamCoi. Angelica was kind enough to give me the full rundown, allow me to ask some questions. I put that video out. You will see that. You'll see the link to that in the eye above my head or right here. But this time I got to talk to somebody else, get a little deeper into the story of what StreamCoi is, how it fits into the InStreamly system, what their goals are going forward. I'm grateful today, all the way from Poland again. I have Jakub Janaszek, and I'm sure that I will destroy his name more and more because I do not speak Polish very well. But I have Jakub Janaszek all the way from Poland. He's a brand manager from StreamCoi. And we're just going to make it easy. I'm going to call you Jake because you told me that I could. So, Jake, thanks for making time.
Works great.
So great. So, Jake, thank you for making time for me today all the way across the world, man. I appreciate it very much.
Pleasure on my side. Thanks for having me. Let me pronounce my name and surname just as a formal Jakub Janaszek, but nobody is needed to remember it. Jake is fine. And thanks for having me again.
All right, thank you very much, Jake. I appreciate it. So, okay, I did some more digging into what StreamCoi actually is after the product pitch presentation that Angelica gave me, which is very insightful. I really like a lot of these features and the fact that we're now hitting a scale at which brand managers, product managers have to access multiple streams at once. It's really interesting what happens when you lower the barriers to entry when it comes to putting content out there, because before you could buy an ad on one TV channel and reach maybe several 100,000 people, maybe a couple of million people. Now with Twitch, Facebook gaming, you literally have to go across multiple channels at once to hit that same number. And your tool, StreamCoi, it allows you to create a single browser source that you give to the streamers, and then you can feed live information, live codes, live promotional materials into multiple streams at once. It's a really interesting thought process. So I want to go back to the very beginning of when you and the founders, or whoever it was that came up with this, sat down and goes, we need a tool where we can do this. So I guess talk to me about the very first moments where you're like, we need this, so how do we do it?
Sure. Thanks a lot for this question. Yeah, it's true what you mentioned. Nowadays, live streaming, esport, entire gaming is growing very fast, and it needs a solution for managing it, because it's not a TV. We do not have one channel, but we have a huge community, and in this community, everyone can just but it's not an easy way, but just turn on the camera and stream to the audience and connect with the audience. And especially during the pandemic, it's super important to keep relationship between people. And live streaming, it's a great support, not only for esports and gaming, but for every area where people want to share the message and connect with the audience. About the beginning, I am, as you mentioned, I'm the brand manager of StreamCoi currently, but it's a startup. So in startup culture, you never be sure who is who. And for example, me, I'm from the title brand manager, but I'm also responsible for product management, business side, our clients onboarding and marketing, and multiple things to tell about idea, about our product, our story, because it's a new solution. But about the beginning, to make clear about what we do as a company, as our product, as a main company, as a main startup, we are InStreamly, and in InStreamly we have a technology that allows us to manage multiple broadcast channels simultaneously. It doesn't matter if it's 10 channels or 1,000 channels.
Right.
And as a main platform, we built open platform to connect thousands of small independent streamers, these small creators who decided to turn on the camera and connect with small audience and grow. We decided to connect them with brands because we want to give them possibility to monetize even their small reach. And in the beginning, Maciej Sawicki, another Polish name and surname, started this idea with the goal to give these small streamers possibility to monetize, to sign up a micro sponsorship deals. But after a few months, he realized then there is a need not only for the small streamers to build environment, to business environment for them, but on the market, in this industry, there are also a lot of pro creators, popular influencers who are not alone, but who are parts of a network, streamer networks like esport teams, esport organization, agencies, MCNs, gaming companies that hire ambassadors. And also during these times, he decided to separate this technology on two fields: InStreamly, that connects streamers with brands, and StreamCoi, the software as a service solution that it's shared in the simple dashboard to manage streamers on the manager's side. And more about me and my beginning in the company and StreamCoi itself.
Right.
Once in our company were only 6 people. In March last year, due to pandemic, I lost the job because I'm former esport tournaments organizer.
Okay.
I used to organize Games Clash Masters in Poland. Also, I was running multiple live streaming campaigns for brands, for influencers. I organized first Comic Con in Poland. And I knew Maciej from my previous events. We collaborate. Maciej was a host of my event and also support us with collaborating with teams. And once he realized then I'm not longer part of the company that organized the events, he came to me and say, Jakub, you worked with teams for years. Maybe you want to take care of InStreamly software as a service solution. It was the name these times, and create a new brand to do it as a separate dashboard and a separate product. And few weeks ago, of course, I accepted this proposition, and we started work on new brand. And after a few weeks, we created StreamCoi. And since this times, we run this product as the solution to allows managers worldwide to manage their streamers automatically and take care of everything and let streamers focus on streaming in the end of the day.
Got it. Okay. So it really sounds like that this. It sounds like this product came from sort of a space of, hey, we have to work remotely. Let's see if we can make it simpler to work remotely and keep everybody involved. That's what this sort of sounds like to me. So when the engineers first sit down, they're like, here's the concept we're working on. Here's some things that we think will work. And I can tell you, anybody who's ever developed a product knows what you think will work and what actually ends up working are always two completely separate things. So when you started this process, when you were sitting down with the engineers and thinking about how do we want it to feel, what, as far as the UX, how do we want the user to experience this? How do we want to make the brand managers make their lives simpler? What's the user interface? So when you set out to make this, what were some things that you thought were going to be great but ended up being horrible? And then what were some things you're like, okay, we're going to add this feature, but it isn't that big of a deal. But those features then ended up being, these are very important features. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. It was the way. Of course, one of the co-founder was Damian Konopka, the great developer who became one of the co-founder and build this first steps what you mentioned from IT perspective.
Right.
But yeah, as a creators in the beginning, we would be the first user of this tool.
Right.
Because the idea of the tool was born from the need of this tool.
Right.
We had this problem what we solved. We would like to use this tool ourselves. We run tournaments, we run the live streaming campaign. Victoria from our board is a former streamer. Maybe she's still streaming sometimes, but
Right.
she's a former streamer. And we know these troubles because we want to do it in the beginning for ourselves to manage these streamers. But after some time, we realized then, hey, around the world, there are multiple people who manage multiple streamers.
Right.
Even if small teams with 4 or 5 pro players that's streaming sometimes, but even if huge networks with influencers, pro players, streaming staff, fans like G2 Esports, one of our leading client, by the way, user, by the way, not
Yep.
client. We have a partner with them. So yeah, it was the beginning. We created it to our own needs, and then we build it as a solution for everyone.
Got it. Okay. What I want to get into next, and if you go to their website, StreamCoi, COI, StreamCoi.com, if you go to their website, at the top, they have the menu. The far right, there's insights where they go into the case studies. I really think everybody should check that out. I will definitely put a link in the description below to the website, and check out the insights because there are case studies in here's who we worked with, here was their goal, here's how StreamCoi made their lives easier. And what is always fascinating to me is when you put yourself out there and you create these case studies and what you're going to get back from that for the product. And so I sort of wanted to start, the first one that I wanted to start with, so go to streamcoi.com and check out their insights page. So the first one I want to talk about is at the very top of the page on the right. So it's about how an organization scouted streamers in 2 weeks. It's 476 streamers. That's a lot of streamers. I mean, even 20 is a lot of streamers in 2 weeks, but 476. So Jake, so sort of walk me through how StreamCoi became part of this, and then I guess talk to me about how the tool was used in such a way that this group could find 476 streamers in 14 days, because because even if you just do the math, you're talking 30 to 35 streamers a day. That's a lot of time.
Yeah, it's a great story. I can say it's a record of number of streamers in one StreamCoi panel. So I would love to tell you about beginning of it.
Okay.
We realized then Madmonku, the Czech company that produces energy products, run every year Face of Twitch. It's the scouting project, and the goal is to find new ambassador for the brand. And until now, we realized then the Madmonku ran it, I can say, manually with using multiple external tools like Google Forms, etc.
Mm-hmm.
It means then every streamer can join to the competition and every streamer can stream, but all what Madmonku can do to monitor them is looking for a hashtag in the name of streamer and checking the list of registered streamers.
Okay.
And as you mentioned, with 10 streamer, okay, I can turn on 10 channels, check it out.
Right.
With 20 streamer, okay, I can take some stuff and do it with me. But with 300 streamers, it's not almost impossible. It's impossible manually.
Right.
And in general, StreamCoi is using to manage streamers day by day to your own partnership. But we noticed that maybe it could be good to run our solution also in short-term events like Madmonku. And we created for Madmonku uh, special registration form, and every streamer using this special registration form was automatically added to their dashboard.
Okay.
And with this solution, all what MadMonku manager needed to do was monitor the stats and the network's activity using the
Okay.
dashboard from the one place. Because every streamer who joined was automatically added to the dashboard, and we started monitor them.
Okay.
And of course, these streamers needed to make a short configuration. It takes 3 minutes for all of them. But
Right.
after this configuration, every streamer was sure then they take part in the competition. Because by using our technology, you can measure stats of all of your streamers in the dashboard, but also you can display a content on their screens. And once we started collaboration with MadMonku, they don't just take a data, but also all streamers get the content on their screen. So simultaneously, 500 streamers in Czech Republic for 2 weeks displayed partner content and MadMonku content. So in the end of the day, they found the new ambassadors, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but also they ran a huge marketing campaign because for 2 weeks across 500 streamers, their product was promoted, and also they promoted event itself. So every new streamer, find a new participants automatically,
Right.
and all happens in super easy way. I can say from the one place they were able to take care of everything, and every streamer, because it's also important, had equal chance to show their skills, because in StreamCoi you can measure the progress, you can measure the stats, their average viewers, but
Mm-hmm.
also monitor everyone, every particular streamer, but also entire network.
And see, I think that's really interesting. Is that your platform not only sends sends out the promotional material, sends out the links to chat, but then you get back from each streamer those stats, which is important because if you're going to sell your platform as a way to get information to out in front of more people, you have to have the stats back, and they have to be accurate. That's also important, because one of the things that people do on Twitch to boost their presence sometimes is they purchase viewers, and yes, they are real people, but they're not interacting. And so I think it's really interesting, because like I say, if you go to their site and you scroll down in this case study, 54,000 chat link clicks. Those are actual human beings that are clicking on a link. And so for 2 weeks, you got 54,000 clicks. Now, is that an ultra insane number? No, but still, you got 54,000 people to go to a site, which is huge. Those are numbers that you can throw out to a company and go, look, if you want, in 14 days we can get you on 400 different streams, and you get 54 clicks back, or sorry, 54,000 clicks back. That's a huge number that companies will pay a lot of money for. And if you do the math on this, I'm doing some quick math here. You're so it was displayed about 110,000 times, and you're getting 54 chat links. That's almost 50%, which is also an insane number. So half the time that you display something, you're getting something back from the viewer, and that says something too. It's really interesting, your tool here, and I really like what you've done so far.
Thanks a lot. As for the campaign model, thanks for mentioning, because yeah, it's not only about display the content. I can
Right.
say it's about entire campaign management across live streaming.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course you can't conduct 500 streamers, but 500 streamers can put something on the screen. But it's not only about put something on the screen. It's entire system. Once you run the campaign, we display something not all the time, but 1, 2, 3 times per hour automatically. And every time when content appears on the screen, content related to games, it's
Right.
not some boring logo, but it's an artworks related with games and streamers.
Right.
In this model, at the same moment we send a chat message in the name of streamer that invite to check an offer or the campaign. And also we measure every single display view and stats about it and demographic about it in analytic reports. Because in the end of the day, we don't want to just put something instead of streamer on the screen. We want to give our user possibility to full live streaming management in one place, and streamers don't have to do anything.
So okay, so from that 2-week period when you went into it, and then coming out of that, when you finished that whole process, what were 2 or 3 things that you sort of learned from that? Where you going in, you weren't entirely sure how it's going to operate or how it was going to feel, but then you came out of it and you're like, that, these 3 things worked very well. We could probably improve on a couple things over here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. First thing, we got the proof that StreamCoi works even if there are hundreds of streamers.
Right.
So we got the proof that it works even not only for 20 or 30 streamers, but also for hundreds of streamers, and it was amazing, this record. But we learned then. Even if someone, the second thing, even if someone is small streamer, they can be the great support to your campaigns and collaborating with big influencer is not the one way to do it, but also you can get these small creators and build a community, build a audience, and invite to the campaigns. But from the tool itself perspective, after this project, we started to improve analytics charts in our reports. Because before this project we had the numbers and multiple overview on it, but once we realized then hundreds or thousands of streamers don't look that good in the reports, we started to improve analytics charts, because it's not only important what you provide, but how you provide these things. Because this type of user experience and user interface was super important for us after this project, and we did it.
And that's really interesting. One of the things you said in there was that smaller streamers can be just as useful as the major influencers, quote unquote. And I like that because there are various numbers out there that you can draw from to prove that things work. There's impressions, and then there's engagement. And I'm sure brands would rather have smaller streamers that say maybe have like 1,000 followers, but have a super high engagement rate of 40%, 50%. I mean, if you could literally know that you're going to engage 500 people every single time you spend a certain dollar amount, that, how do I phrase this? Having that kind of a surety as a person in marketing is fantastic. I know if I spend X dollars, I'm going to get, 40% engagement, 50% engagement, which is fantastic. And I love, and I'm sure that you have all sorts of detailed data in terms of what streamers and what games do really well. And that's fantastic. And I hope and pray that you guys realize that information is powerful information that you can leverage and you can turn into real growth for you guys. And that's a great thought process. I'm glad that you think that. I'm very happy that you think that way. So now the next case study that I wanted to get into. So there was so you did a promotional event with a Devil's One where you're giving away codes to a large number of people. Now, I'm starting to see a trend with you guys that you are handling things at scale. You're handling these issues at scale across multiple platforms, and trying to manage 5 streamers for an event is a handful for one person, but from a dashboard, giving away 500 individual codes on 15 streams at once. That's freaking that's at scale. You're like, okay, well, I mean, 500 codes on 15 streams. It might not seem like a big deal until you have to do it all by hand, right? Oh,
Sure, you can imagine the person who want to do it manually and stay in the corner and give every single code, please use my product, please check my product, please
exactly.
get this code and use this product. And it's the same way in digital. If you would like to do it manually, you need to I don't know, take some Excel sheet and type the codes on the chat, use this product, use this product, use this
Exactly.
product, take this
Exactly.
product. But we don't want to do it. We want to do it easy, like publishing post on Facebook. We want to do it with few clicks. And yes, DV1, it was then the action with the project with DV1 was the first implementation of code giveawaying. Recently, we did the same with G2 Esports and Nice Cactus Company, but this time we gave away 3,000 codes, not
Wow.
500 codes. And yes,
3,000
the
codes.
system
Oh,
is
wow. Okay.
3,000 individual codes.
Wow.
And audience were hunting for it because multiple influencers and brands in some affiliation program can display one referral link and ask everyone, hey, everyone, use my link. But for us, the goal was to give our individual codes, because if you can get something individual, it's more valuable for you. And yeah, in our solution, imagine 10 streamers. These streamers are streaming in different times or simultaneously, doesn't matter. And they can just stream, and 1 times per hour or 2 times per hour or 3 times per hour, it depends on user. The code pop up on the screen. It's the only one individual code. You have 10 seconds to take it. And people, I don't want to say fight for it, but hunt for it and want to get this code, But if you don't have to looking for a website when you are using this code, but immediately you get this website on the chat, you can go into this website, check the website, use the code. And even if you do not have this code, you can try to find another code. So you want to stay on the stream, you want to looking for this code and check the offer again, what you can get by using this code. And the best part, our user can just set up, okay, this artwork, these codes, this chat message, run. That's all.
Wow.
Like on the Facebook.
And so, okay, I'm one of the things that is fantastic about streaming is that the barrier between yourself and the streamer is very thin. However, as the process scales, that barrier becomes thicker and thicker and thicker. And so what brought you to connect with a streamer, connect with a brand or product initially, because you got that close connection to the product, becomes harder and harder and harder. So managing closeness at scale is almost, that feels like the problem that you're also solving here, right?
Yeah, it's also about it. It's also about it because our previous experience in gaming, very specific area and new area, of course, it's still a Wild West, I can say, required from marketers, but also from influencers, the special knowledge, know-how, and ways how to run this type of partnership. Because you can't treat it like traditional media. You can't just put the logo or some information or advertisement on the screen. It's not about advertisement.
Right.
You need to keep this connection between audience and streamers. You need to bring the value to the audience also. And I think thanks to this experience in esports and gaming, but also thanks to our amazing user experience and creators team, we can run something what is appreciated not only by the marketers, but also by streamers, audience, but at the end of the day, brands also, because nowadays it's super important to not just promote your product, but bring value to the community and build this relationship, to build this product recognition, this brand recognition. And uh, reach the Gen Z is super difficult, but we strongly believe in this type of solution and mindset. We are able to do it, especially then some of our teammates, including me, are Gen Z, so we know how to reach ourselves.
Very nice. So okay, so from that campaign, from the Devils One campaign, what did you guys learn from that you then use going forward?
Mm, it's connected what we mentioned few minutes ago, because to
Mm-hmm.
be totally honest, in the beginning we displayed too much codes, because we weren't sure how long the campaign could be run, with 500 codes. It was one of the first campaign live streaming when you give away individual codes, so we weren't able to check out if one code per hour is fine, or 20 codes per hour is fine.
Right.
So in the beginning we displayed too much codes, and we were needed to change it super quickly, because
Right.
audience and streamers were annoying to get multiple codes, but thanks to our real-time management, we were able to do it also super quickly once after we get the feedback from the streamers audience, because it's also important. Then we build the product also for them, and we get huge feedback from the users and from the viewers,
Mm-hmm.
because as I mentioned in the beginning, it's not relation client provider, it's about partnership, because in the beginning of this huge journey of live streaming, everyone on the industry need to collaborate, and that's why also we can do it.
Very nice. Okay, so I want to get into this third third case study, where you actually partner with an esports organization, the Big Clan. Check that out. Like I said, check out this website, StreamCoi.com. They have the insights and the case studies. I will definitely put a link in the description below. So here it seems like you're in a more long-term relationship with a clan, versus the other two. We're like, okay, we're going to do an event, we're going to manage an event, and the event starts here and finishes here. In this situation, it looks like, okay, we're going to partner with this clan. They have 22 streamers, they have to manage various content over time. So in this situation feels like a more long-term relationship, where things can be kind of, I guess a good word is, things can be kind of dull and down for a short period of time, but then maybe for 5 days a you have a large promotional campaign that you want to push. Maybe some streamers are going to events that you have to manage. Maybe some of your professional players are streaming their involvement in a tournament. But what this looks like, instead of being from the event side, you're more of on the team side here. So so is there a difference for you? Is there a difference for the company managing a short-term event where, okay, we're going to start on day 1, and by day 9 we're done. This is the campaign, versus this situation? You're with a clan, you're with a group where you're going to be with them for maybe 4 months. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. Great that you mentioned it, because Mad Monku or code giveaway with Div1, it was short-term project. It was cool, but it was something special.
Right.
But the main needs to use StreamCoi is daily management, because if you sign up streamers for a year, for a month, as you told, you need to take care of them all the time. Even if you sign up new streamer and you want provide this streamer with all overlays, assets, graphics, camera frames, banners,
Right.
you don't want them to set up it for weeks, but you want to do it right away. and use this potential. So Big Plan is the great case, so a great case study, but also the great case of partnership. Last week we announced finally the official partnership with them because they support us a lot. And let's use them as the example. Let's imagine you are the streamer manager, Bill. You have 30 streamers in your roster.
Right.
They are pro players that's streaming between the official competitive gaming. They are influencers who are focusing on game, etc. And we work digital, especially during the pandemic.
Right.
You won't use the Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but also you want to use the channels because they generate the great numbers. And without the tool to automation like StreamCoi,
Right.
you needed to prepare for every campaign the graphic assets, send it to every single streamer, ask every single streamer to put it on the screen. And in the end of the day, even if you do that, you weren't able to get detailed stats to send a chat message. Every streamer needed to contact you every week, give you reports, etc., etc., etc. But with StreamCoi, you can just put the same content, the one file, in our dashboard, and we automatically delivered it everywhere. Because it's not only about marketing, etc., but also about minimize streamer workload. Because for small streamers, for small creators, they have a great ambition to grow and to do everything. They are willing to be involved in the campaigns. But in case of top leading streamers and pro players, they have multiple things to do, and streamer management and campaign management, it's not the things what they want to do. And that's why we collaborate with BIG and another really big team to automate the live streaming strategy, but also to provide them with new way to monetize this streaming. Let's say it open. With StreamCoi, you can not just promote the partners, but provide them with really detailed stats, and you can monetize these stats because we are both from marketing. We know how important is selling CPV campaign and media reports. So every day I can see how our users, because currently almost 70 teams worldwide are using StreamCoi to everyday routine, and we see the login, and every time when we see new campaigns, new overlays, new streamer, it's great to see how much workload we minimize.
And I like that statement that you said, decreasing the workload on the streamer, because very few people realize that for every moment that you spend in front of the camera, you probably spend twice as much time off camera getting ready with your promotional products, making sure that your equipment works correctly, handling stuff in your real life to make sure that you have the time to be on stream and work, and taking one of those pieces out of downloading graphics and then making sure it's in your OBS size correctly and it's also positioned correctly and it says what you want it to say. Taking that piece out makes the streamer's life easier. And that makes the experience for the audience better because the streamer has one or two less things to worry about, and then you can as the stream manager, content manager, you can see the interactions and you can adjust that stuff, and then your streamer has faith that, okay, this is going to pop up on the screen at some point and I'm going to get asked about it, but I don't have to worry about it. I just have to put in a browser source in my OBS and then boom, I'm done. The rest is managed, less stress. So from this case study, what did you guys learn?
The great lesson for us was patience, I can say, especially for me, and the great patience, because BIG and the great people who work for BIG, I can say they are with us from the beginning, because once I started to work for StreamCoi, And once I decided to finally show this to another teams, first who I contacted was the teams that participate in my tournament that I organized before the pandemic. And since the beginning, BIG joined the roster and started to use it. And after almost a year, we announced the partnership. We ran multiple campaigns, almost 8 campaigns, etc. And it was the great lesson of be patient, give a proper time to our user because they are super busy. Be patient to streamers to help them with everything, and with thanks to the BIG feedback since the beginning, a large feedback, we were able to implement multiple onboarding solution, multiple new tools and new features. Because probably a lot of clients would just resign and it's not for me. But they didn't resign. They stay with us, and maybe that's why for now they don't have to do anything on the streaming, and StreamCoi take care of most of the responsibility. But yeah, it was the great lesson of patience.
And that's really interesting that you bring that up because not only is there the user experience throughout how you use the tool, but the initial user experience of how do I get this going? This idea sounds good. Okay, I want to make my life easier, but what do I have to go through to make my life easier? What do I have?
Yeah.
What's the onboarding process? And I love that. I love that you brought that up. What is the onboarding process? How many steps do I have to take to save steps down the road? And if I have to take 90 steps to save 4, it's probably not worth my time. But the onboarding process of making it as simple as possible and refining and refining and refining the whole startup process of getting yourself into the app. This feels like a piece of technology that once you're on board and you use it a bunch, you don't ever want to go back to anything else ever again, because it brings all your stats, it brings all your promotional stuff into one space. You don't have to chase streamers down and get them to respond to you, and you can manage at scale. You can manage your closeness at scale, and I really like this. I haven't used it. I sort of kind of want to now, just to kind of like, I want to be able to experience the other end of it. Oh, I'm watching 19 streamers and I'm seeing my stats in real time. I'm seeing these charts. I'm seeing how good these streamers actually are versus how they think they are. That's also something else that I think is really interesting.
Yeah, and also because for us, it's also super important is also the trusting of our users, because on the industry, not only in esport and gaming, every startup say you, I can do a multiple things for you. You don't have to do anything. I will automate your work.
Right.
And okay, you start to test it, and then you realize, then you spend weeks to do it, and you waste your time you waste your time on minimize your workload. And with StreamCoi, onboarding process for streamers but also for managers need to be super easy and quick, and but also safe, because a lot of users then doubts about it, and we improve it every time. We improve it, and for now, streamer configuration takes 5 minutes, and campaign setup takes more or less 6 minutes. So it's a good numbers, but we still work on improving it.
Very nice. I like the. So I do like very much that you have those figures. Like, it takes you 5 minutes for the streamer to set up. It takes you about 6 for the manager to set up. Like, I think every manager has about 5 or 6 minutes to spare, which is fantastic. So I definitely encourage everybody to go follow StreamCoi on LinkedIn. You can follow the main company in Streamly at InStreamly on Twitter. Follow them there. You can see what they're doing. I've been following you on LinkedIn. It seems like that you have been putting forth some more partnership announcements lately, right?
Yeah, we always want to be visible on social media. So we have also for InStreamly and StreamCoi separate communication. We connect with our user, with streamers there, but also we announce every new thing. So follow us and thanks a lot for for looking at us and if you need anything to automate your work and if you are a streamer, hit us up. Probably we can collaborate.
Very nice. So for the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 going forward, it seems like you guys have a great tool. You're constantly refining your process. What are some goals that you have?
Yeah, from StreamCoi perspective, for upcoming months, the biggest goal that we are going to achieve is redesign to the dashboard, and it's something what I mentioned to multiple users. So probably if some of our users are listening this podcast, they think about it again because we want to make a huge redesign for our dashboard, and it's not about some visual site or something like that. It will be the rebuilding of multiple features, our backend, to make it more smoothly to use, but also to improve our backend to make sure that these dozens of users are safe and everything can be run smoothly. So actually, we work on it. It will be. I hope the first parts will be implemented in April, but upcoming months, as you asked for, will show us this idea. Then we want to build more connection between InStreamly and StreamCoi because we already built the marketplace together. It means then every StreamCoi user can join our InStreamly campaign and monetize their streamers directly with us. They don't have to do anything. They just allows us to do it. They accept invitation. We invite their streamers to InStreamly automatically. And in this model, even small teams without monetization can join our campaign, support us, and get money on it. But after 18 months, I hope we will also expand on new areas, not just the esport and gaming, but also sports, music, entertainment, fashion, because nowadays multiple companies external from esport and gaming go into digital, go into live streaming, and we want to support them as well. Currently, we have a few users in this type. For example, fan controlled football league, the first online football league in USA with partnership with Twitch, are using StreamCoi and building the product not only for esports and gaming, but also building the product for another industries. It's a great goal that we want to achieve.
So I would be extremely remiss if I did not ask this question. Who do you guys think that you're competing against? Because it seems like there's new products popping up all the time, new thought processes. I've I've been involved in different groups and companies who have tried to connect brands with streamers that it hasn't worked. Your tool seems to kind of streamline the process and make it easier. And whenever somebody finds an opportunity, there's always more competition. So who do you guys think your competition is right now?
From the InStreamly perspective, of course, there are a lot of not a lot of, but there are from the InStream perspective, there are multiple agency company, who want to sell the campaigns and connect influencers with brands. But in case of StreamCoi, we are one of the first company that realized then you don't need to facilitate only the streamers' work, but also the people who manage these streamers. And actually, I'm not sure it's not about competition because our users are using both products, but the Stream Hatchet, the great tool to gathering data and statistic from live streaming, they have also some solution to display a partner's logo on the screen.
Okay.
But as I mentioned, but and they are the biggest company that do similar things for esport teams and organization. But as I mentioned, I'm not sure it's about competition because our users are using both products. So maybe someday they will be using only StreamCoi. But for now, yeah, there is also the Stream Hatchet, the great tool, by the way. I love Stream Hatchet, and also I used to run campaigns with Stream Hatchet in my previous job.
Nice. Okay, so at what point do you guys think that you might finally realize, okay, we've done it. We've crossed that emotional threshold. Whether it's a revenue number, whether it's a user number, it could be both. It could be both. You know, you hit your user number first. You hit a revenue number. What is that threshold of your guys' critical mass where you go, this works. We are now a thing.
If I would answer the question if this works, I already can say it, because if the leading teams worldwide are using this tool, it's the great proof for it for me. But about the critical mass, around the world there are about 400 esport teams, tournament organizers, and agencies that are able to using our tool. Actually, as I mentioned, almost 80 or 100, because it depends who is the user,
Right.
and about activity, are using our tool. So we'd love to reach also this 300 leads to make it possible in as many teams as it possible. But once we will expand on another areas like fashion, sports, entertainment, it's really difficult to say, because I can say in the end of the day, everyone who can manage few streamers, they could be our user. But as the core, I would like to help these 400 companies that manage streamers officially and as an official network.
400. All right, I'm gonna write that down right now. 400 is your number. I'm gonna put it in a box, and then probably here in a couple months, I will send you another message. Go. Excuse me. I'll send you another message, and I'll go, hey, you said 400. How close are you? And you'll have to tell me, and then I'll be sure to share that out for you. So.
Definitely will do. Please, will do it. Maybe after 1 year or another time, I will update this number, because every week the new companies, are creating, the crazy people are creating new esport teams, agency,
Right.
etc. But I will be waiting for this question.
Awesome. Jakub, thank you very much for making time for me today, all the way from Poland. Time zone differences. You've been very gracious. Great information. I encourage everybody, check out StreamCoi.com, COI.com. Jakub, thank you for making time for me today. I appreciate it.
Thanks for the invitation. I really appreciate it, and have a great day.
All right, everybody, thanks for tuning in. Please do like, share, subscribe. More great podcasts coming. I was really honored to have this on today across the world. I'm grateful for everybody who likes and shares my stuff. I will see you very soon.
Thank you for tuning in today. You can find links to everyone on the show in the description below. Check out Bill the Conqueror on Twitch and Twitter to stay up to date on his thoughts and ideas about gaming culture.